All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here. We're going to be taking a look at setting up a CDE CAD system. So this will be basically for the server and the community owners. Right after you purchase the CAD, this video will kind of walk you through getting your community set up with your departments, with your permissions, with your reports, all that fun stuff. So first thing you're going to do after we create your community is you'll hit continue with Discord. Once you do that, it's going to scan your communities, and we will go here and we will swap to the community that we need, which in this case is called Video Test Community. Obviously, you won't have as many communities as I do. So with that being said, this is the home page here. So we'll come back to this a little bit later, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to select Community Admin. So this will take you into the configuration process of your CDE CAD instance. So first thing that it's going to ask us to do is set up our community logo and description. I'm not going to set a logo, but I will set colors and I will put a test as the description. Next thing we'll do is we'll set up our role ID for dispatch. So I'm just going to do this. And then of course our Discord link. In this case, we'll just use the CDE CAD Discord URL. Linked servers and guilds. This is specifically for if you have a server that maybe is a separate server just for a department. So if you have like SHP, its own separate Discord, you would put that Discord ID here, give it a name, and then this would allow you to utilize those permissions for specific subdivision roles. So if you have like a SHP, commercial vehicle enforcement, or DUI enforcement, you can actually link the roles that are in that secondary guild to a specific role for subdivisions. Next thing we're going to do is auto clock out, clock in. Make sure that you set that. That'll basically remove your units from the table at the threshold that you set. Call auto close. This will be minutes of inactivity. So essentially, if I put a note in right now, it'll be 25 minutes from that note. If someone attaches 5 minutes after I put a note in, it'll be 25 minutes, or whatever minute instance that you set will be when it will auto close that call. Closed calls will be retained for up to 7 days, but this is customizable. You can change to whatever you like. And traffic stop details can be shown. Basically, when you're creating a traffic stop, it'll ask you how many occupants in the vehicle, what is the reason for the stop, any other description or details. So now that we have that, we can click done. Now let's set up our departments. So we'll hit add department, give it a name, give it a logo. And of course, we'll need that Discord role ID again. In this case, we'll just make something up. Admin department. It is not an admin department. It is a police department. You can set your application URL. You can also utilize the address and your non-emergency phone number. This will all be displayed. This will all be displayed specifically on the department showcase page, which I will show you here in a second. So this is the community showcase page. And if we go into the department showcase page, you can see the contact information is listed there. This information will also be listed on when you print or view reports. It'll have the contact information and the phone number on those specific reports, as well as if you set an application link, you can click apply now, and that'll take you directly to that application. And of course, all these stats are automatically updated within the specific community. Discord web URL will be utilized for report notifications. So if you want notifications via Discord webhooks, that will at the user, and then if it's being approved by a supervisor, it'll at the supervisor. You can set that up here. You can also test it. So our first department is now created. Here in that subdivision, you can see if we set up a secondary guild, we would be able to select that specific guild there. And then we can also select parent departments. So if we want to do SWAT, what is this special? I cannot spell to save my life. Here's where you would set the guild ID, and then you would select that specific community. Give it a different color if you want to. You can also use an eyedropper. So we want to do that, and then description. So now anyone who has that specific role would be able to go on duty as that subdepartment and then file reports under that subdepartment. So now our departments are set up. Obviously, make as many as you need. We'll select done. Next thing we'll do is our permissions. So here, community administrators, be very careful with this. It's a lot of power. They can pretty much do almost everything the server owner can do, except for a couple other specific role-based things, like you can't remove the community administrators. The server owner is the only one who has access to this, so on and so forth. So here, once again, you'll put those Discord role IDs for anything that you need to do for all these different permission types. Pretend that we did that. And now we'll click done. And then we'll go to the jurisdiction tab. So you'll have your default cities, counties, and states. You can also add different preset cities. And then you can map that to specific coordinates. So when 911s are passed through, essentially they're transcoded in our system to specific coordinates of the area that they are transcoded in, if that makes sense. So if you have basically a call in what we would say Vinewood, then you could rename this to, I don't know, what would we rename it to? Something else that's not Vinewood, and then it would get transcoded. You can also do that for the same counties as well. Next, we'll set up our license and points. So you in here, you can set a specific format. So say if you wanted all numbers, same thing for firearms. And it's important to note that this will apply for all vehicle related license. So CDL, driver's license, all that fun stuff. Firearms will be specific. So you could do the FA, something like that if you really wanted to. And then vehicle plates as well. Auto suspend, make sure you set that up. That basically means when you have points that are associated with charges, that the charges get added to a civilian profile, then it accumulates the points, and once it gets to the threshold you set, it will automatically suspend that license, and then you can view that in the judicial panel. You can also disable the DMV panel, basically have it auto-approve licenses, auto-approve vehicle registrations, and then disable license exams if you so choose to. Moving along, we'll take a look at the dispatch status buttons. So you can reset these to default, and then you can also change or add more buttons as you please. So now that we've set up license points to the buttons, we can continue and set up vehicle fees. This also includes the starting bank balance. So you can have all civs start at 50,000, all civs start at 1,000. You get to set that right there, and then your different registration fees. We'll click done again. And now we will set up our charges. To start off, you can set up different classes. So felony, misdemeanor, infraction classes. And then you can have like class A felony, class B, so on and so forth. We can also import charges. There's two templates for a JSON and a CSV file. You can also just paste the data instead of manually uploading it. For now, we're just going to make a charge. Severity, we'll make it a felony. The fine will auto-find the civilian whenever that charge is added. And now our charge has been created. So whenever we add this, the threshold that we have set for auto-suspend licenses is 20 points. So if we filled out a report with a civilian, it would auto-suspend the license at this time. Continue on, we have street names, which are by default all imported, all base game names. You can go in and you can edit any specific name. These will be used when you're filling out reports, creating 911 calls, anything that involves a street name or location. When you're creating civilians, their address, anything like that will be located here. Here you can set up different hospitals. These will be specifically utilized for the EMS and fire panels. We have a couple features that are coming soon that are planned. They're not available yet, but be sure to set those hospitals up. It's pretty easy. Just add hospital name, address, phone number, whether it's open, closed, different trauma levels, all that fun stuff. You also do have different dispositions. You also do have different disposition types. So essentially, whenever you click complete call or close call, you can actually select one of these, and then that'll be submitted when you close the call, and you can access that later at a time. And then that'll also play into like the analytics. How many calls were ended in arrest, how many calls ended in warnings, citations, reports, whatever it may be. Call types and priority levels. These will be specifically utilized for when you are creating 911 calls. These are call types. So under the drop down, you'll have the ability to select one of these types. And then of course, you can export, import, whatever you need to do there. You can add more categories, less categories, anything you need. Priority levels are similar. So when you're creating that 911 call, you'll have a priority level drop down as well. So you can set these priority levels to anything that you desire. So we do offer custom domains. So that would be like cad.yourdomain.com. Those do cost us a little bit extra to host and to maintain. So there is an additional cost. If you're interested in that, it's $2.99. So your total subscription would be $22.98 per month. If you're interested in that, definitely let us know and we can get that added to your account. All subdomains are completely free. There's no added charge for that. So if you are wanting something that's completely custom, and I will say it does look a little bit better. This is an example of a custom domain from one of our communities. So it does take the theming, it takes the stats, it has the departments. It does look a lot better for that specific community, and then you're not redirected back to the cdecad.com page, essentially. Of course, you can set up all the custom sounds that you want. Your quick reference would be specifically utilized for the dispatch panel under 10 codes. These are codes that you could add that are frequently used that they could quickly reference. Same for addresses. Radio channels, same thing. This is just a quick reference. The CDE radio is not available currently. We hope to have that available for you guys in the next couple weeks, months, however long it takes. We want to make sure that it's a decent product before we put it out. But with that being said, this is not a radio system by any means. We do have AI dispatch, but this specifically is for quick reference on the radio channels. We've had some questions about that. You can also manage who can manage bolos. So you can have that set to all community members, admins, or admins only. Excuse me. You can have that set to all community members, admins and supervisors, or admins only. AI dispatch toggle right here. You can sign up for a free 11 Labs account and generate an API key. Then you can select that model. Then you can select that option. And then once you select that option, you'll have 3 models from 11 Labs that you can utilize. Lots of different options here. It will notify you of new calls if you have that enabled and all that fun stuff. Last but not least, integrations. So this is where you'll get your API key for the 911 script, for the tablet resource, for the ERS if you're going to run the ERS script. If you got a QBox, QB Core, ESX, anything like that, here's where you will get your API key. It's one-time use only. Once you generate it, you'll have to regenerate it because it won't be shown again. Also important to note, if you are setting up ERS, your calls and civilian creations will not work until you actually hit this check mark right here. And then you can also set this to auto delete certain civilians if you so want to. Inferno Bridge and London Studios integrations is coming soon. There'll be more information available after that. The last thing that we want to showcase here to set up on the community admin panel is the webhooks. So we've got webhooks for just about everything, and we're continually adding more. So feel free to set all of these up. Did some testing. They should be good to go. And it's super helpful for community owners, supervisors, department heads to kind of be in the know when everything happens. So now we'll head to our homepage and we can completely customize this as well. And as you guys can see, we added that department there, TPD, and now that department is there. If we put a logo with that department, it would show the logo. So you can set your banner title, welcome to our community, your banner image. You can have your CFX join link. So this will actually get the players and then also resolve the ping. You can hide or show department patrol shortcuts if you want to. And then you have your changelog Discord webhook URLs and your announcement Discord webhook URLs. So if you post an announcement here, you can select the priority announcement title. If you have your webhook enabled, it'll also send this through the webhook additionally here. Same thing with the changelog. You can modify anything that you need to, and it'll actually appear right here. This will be announcements, and then this will be changelogs, and then you can also set that up to be able to send through the Discord webhook, so you don't have to double post things. Event scheduler is a events option, so it'll also create a Discord event in your server. You get to select your time zone. You can say if it repeats, date, time, and then you could automatically archive events that are older than 7 days. So that way they don't clog up your events tab over here on the right side. With that being said, that's kind of the basic setup of the CDE CAD system. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions for the CAD system itself, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to take a look. We've implemented probably 90% of suggestions that have come in, and we probably had 50-ish suggestions. So a good percentage of those have been implemented. So just keep that in mind. We take feedback very seriously. We appreciate all the feedback that we're getting. If you guys want to check out the CDE CAD system, feel free to check it out. There'll be a link down in the description and probably one down in the comments below. I think there's also a coupon code down there if you're looking to get your first month 25% off. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.